King Charles III will be crowned tomorrow in the royal coronation ceremony, and the celebration is already underway. Joining us live from London is Fox News royal contributor Christopher Andersen. He is also the author of The King, The Life of Charles III. Christopher, it's great to have you on the program with us today. And everybody's so excited about what we're going to experience here on television, you live in person tomorrow. But what I find really striking is the fact that Queen Elizabeth, she ascended the throne under very different circumstances than what we're seeing here with King Charles III. And this would be, in my view, actually more of a traditional coronation. I've been sort of calculating in my mind, you know, when it would be that Prince William might be in the same shoes, and it would be much later in his life. Just try to explain and put in context for us the significance of what's happening.
Well, that's part of the problem here, and you're absolutely right. You were talking earlier about the economic hardships Americans are facing. Well, it's much worse here in the UK, and King Charles has taken that into consideration. He realizes he has to slim down the monarchy, modernize it, try and make it more relevant, try not to offend people who are trying to make ends meet. There are only going to be 2,000 guests at this coronation instead of the 8,000 that attended Queen Elizabeth's. A lot of the people have been told to wear business attire as opposed to the robes that were worn at Queen Elizabeth's coronation. The route of the processions going to and from Westminster Abbey to Buckingham Palace, that will also be cut back significantly. I mean, he realizes he's got to walk a tightrope here. When Queen Elizabeth took over, it was an era of hope. It was after World War II. And yes, they were facing economic hardships, but they thought things were going to get better because they just defeated the Nazis. And we're in a different situation here, almost the reverse, where, you know, the king realizes he has to step up, you know, make changes, but at the same time deliver the pomp and the ceremony and the pageantry that people expect of the monarchy. And by the way, look at this view behind me. I mean, this is 1,000 years of British history here. And at the Westminster Abbey, where he's going to be crowned, this is the spot where every monarch has been crowned since William the Conqueror in 1066. So it'll be quite a spectacle.
Christopher, speaking of the spectacle, I'm hearing numbers like over $100 million in terms of the cost of putting this together. And I was looking at the road right behind you. It looked pretty empty. I'm sure it was blocked off, but I imagine there are just throngs there, and the spending has to be enormous. What does this mean for the economy there? What's the return on investment, so to speak, to put it in monetary terms, when you talk about an event this expensive and this big?
You know, the monarchy, it's hard to get a real firm number. It could cost anywhere to run the monarchy every year, anywhere from between maybe $200 million and $400 million a year. This event alone, they're talking about $150 million. That was the last figure I got. But look, the return on your investment is pretty spectacular. The monarchy has been called the world's greatest brand, with the exception of the Vatican and the Pope. It brings in billions of dollars into the British economy. And over the years, the total amount has been estimated to be hundreds of billions of dollars. So this is, you know, it's an investment. Of course, we can understand why people want the expenses to be trimmed, and to people, for the royal family to realize the kind of pain they're going through. But at the same time, I think it's could be considered money well spent.
Christopher, on that note, it was interesting. I was reading a few articles that even the king, especially after his divorce, developed sort of a fiscal prudence approach, focusing on real estate on a lot of his investments, and has actually grown his wealth that many estimate to be larger than his late mother, the Queen. How have you looked at him from a fiscally prudent person and investor as well?
The king, he's you know, obviously as Prince of Wales, he proved himself to be quite the shrewd businessman. I mean, he was making a spectacular amount of money as the Duke of Cornwall, another of his titles, the Duchy of Cornwall. So I think he knows how to make a buck, to be frank. And I would imagine. You know, once again, he has to be prudent, he has to be fiscally responsible, but there are certain perks to this job that we can't ignore. The value of the crown jewels alone is estimated at $12 billion. So we're dealing with staggering amounts of money. And of course, personal wealth that's almost unimaginable that has been accrued over the years. And William and Kate, you mentioned William. Well, William and Kate are the two most popular royals, alongside Princess Anne for other reasons. But a lot of Britons really would rather see William and Kate on the throne right now. I mean, they believe that is the future of this monarchy if it's going to exist. That's not going to happen. This king has waited too long, and if his parents are any indication, he's going to live another 25 years, right? So he'll be there for quite a long time. He's transitional, but he's not a caretaker. He's going to take action. Right?
We're going to have to wait, and when we'll be watching live tomorrow. It's all so exciting, Christopher. We appreciate your insight, and it is a beautiful shot behind
Thank you.
Enjoy.
It isn't so much excitement here, I have to tell you, though. It's really building, so I would watch.
We will. All right. See you later.